welcome to a brand new episode of the Cooligans on location at TST. I am not only just capturing content here and interviewing people. This is going to be one of the hottest shows we've ever done, but I'm also playing in TST. So you get to hear about that, hear about some of the results, hear about just my performances on the pitch. So this is an exciting episode. Make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Cooligans podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, everything. Wherever you get this show, wherever you have the option to get this show, that's where you need to hit the subscribe button. This is going to be a crazy episode. We got stars. We got celebs. We got everybody, okay? So we have a great episode for you, great interviews, footy chat. We're going to have a great time here in Cary, North Carolina at TST. Find out if I win $1 million. We are here live at TST in Cary, North Carolina. We're at Wake Med Soccer Park. I am making content. I am training. I am playing in TST, but I am joined alongside an American soccer legend, the coach for Sneaky Fox FC, Jay DeMerit. Jay, what's up, brother?
What's up, gang? So happy to be back.
Okay, you guys played last year.
We were, yeah.
Did you play last year or coach also?
Coached as well, yeah. So
okay.
I'm like you. I try to wear many hats. Chief design officer, chief motivation officer, chief vibe officer.
Okay,
there's all the other pieces too.
I love it. It's just
we got lots of pieces now with the Foxes.
The Zoom calls are just you on it.
That's right. Yeah, my free job that I do with all part of my other jobs is this one. But
everybody,
it's worth it. It's worth it.
Raise your hand if you have a question.
Yeah, I got you.
But Jay, so how did it go last year? How you guys got out of the group?
We
right?
did, yeah.
Yes,
we went 6-0, so we went straight to the semis and lost to the eventual champions in Newton. So it was one of those things. I think we didn't know. The uniqueness of the tournament is what kind of makes it so special, because you don't get these environments anywhere else. And you amalgamate indoor players, beach soccer players, outdoor players,
comedians.
There's no place like it. Yeah, and so comedians included.
I have a wrestler on my team as well. So
there you go, back post. Yes, he's wrestlers are for the back post.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. My man Claudio is a giant. So hold up play. You send him. You give him the rock. Say hold it. My man is gonna be Shaq in front of goal. But yeah, this is something that, look, I just got in today, and I didn't get a chance to be here last year, but I did watch a lot of the matches. But there's something just being here. It feels like it's a soccer tournament where there's $1 million on the line, but it's also like a high school reunion.
Yeah. It's almost like a youth soccer tournament. We're like handing out oranges and stuff. There's like food everywhere. There's like body armor here. It's all this kind of stuff where it kind of feels like we're products, but in a way it's like, that's what's so cool about it, because never do those products be in the same room.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what makes it unique. And then you add in the talent, you add in the brands, you add in the badges that everyone knows and loves. And so now you got this really unique environment. And so that's what, and again, adding 12 more teams this year, or all the rest of the teams, and the women's division too. So I think it's only going to get better. And last year there was a reason that we came back, because it's awesome.
Okay, and you had mentioned before that you said chief design officer, but you designed the Sneaky Fox kit.
That's right. Yeah. So O'Neill's, which is the brand that I work with through a lot of my youth programs and things right now, it's an Irish brand, but they do a full sublimation process. So they got their own factories, they have their own fabrics and all that kind of stuff. So I get to work with their designers to design certain concepts and all sorts of things. And so this year's concept is to the moon every year. So I designed last year's kits too, but this year's concept is to the moon, because we almost made it to the moon last year. So this year we're going to the moon, and we got a whole new crew. We got some really good staple point players as of last year, and then now added a couple big hitters like Mix Discarud, Sasha Kleshchin.
Yeah.
These guys that have national team,
ballers.
So
I'm an NYCFC fan. First ever NYCFC kit I ever purchased was a Mixed Discarud kit. I saw him walking around. I didn't get a chance to say hi, but I got to remind him of that.
And you got to mix them all, and you have to have indoor players too, because when you get that indoor vibe, it's like that short spaces. It's this kind of tight space environments. Goal finding these corner angles, things like that. So you need a couple indoor guys for sure, because they know how to play in that tight space environment. And so it's that team building becomes really interesting.
Yeah, same thing. Our team has a couple indoor guys. The diversity within the squad of just of talent. Again, the imposter syndrome I feel is again is to the moon.
You can be the communicator. You
Exactly.
can be the
Yeah,
communicator. You're the talker out there.
Right,
That's
right.
right. That's what you do professionally.
I'm glad I'm speaking to a chief vibes officer because this is where I
I
learned
get
a lot of
some
my
shades,
skills.
I can get you some gold chains. I can get you some. We got DJs coming. We got a bar called the Sneakeasy that's going to be on all week in downtown Raleigh now. So we got nights. We got all sorts of things. I'm in charge of all that stuff. We got wicked DJs coming into town. We got different themes every night.
If I had more, we might have time. I don't have it. Well, I could do a stand-up show for the players.
Yeah,
that's an option too. So
we'd see. But that's the thing with the Sneakeasy. We're open to all things.
Okay.
And Sneakeasy's like, they're kind of like, you got a password, and they're like, we're gonna do things around those, and we're gonna do vibe stuff. Like,
okay,
we got,
yeah.
Like, signing
Sneakeasy,
walls.
it's an eyes wide shut party.
That's right. Yeah. Drop your keys at the door.
It's gonna be crazy, dude. My question for you about just the competitiveness of this tournament. You guys got far in the tournament, but lost. What was the feeling like in just coming that close and getting that far, but not winning the total prize?
Well, I think for us, again, we were disappointed because what we learned was that you got to stay fit. And so we came in fitter this year. What we also learned is that you got to use your subs and you got to use them wisely. And I think that's what Newton did the best. And I remember Drew Connor, one of our midfielders, he's kind of our engine room. And he came off after like 3 minutes. And he goes, dude, they were subbing at 29 seconds. But again, that says a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had a very strict environment that was very well oiled machine, and that showed throughout the whole tournament, and I know that's why they won. They were just tactically, they were well sound. They kept guys healthy. We were at 6 fully healthy guys by the time we got to the semis. 6. We got guys like Brad Evans was like fully taped up. Quincy's got like his back is like all like ace bandages. Like I felt like we were like high school in 1989. But like
they say MLS is the retirement league, but I think it's TST, right?
I think so. Yeah, we're great lettermen come to die.
No, man, it's like I said, it's great bumping into so many folks that obviously I grew up watching, and then also you've done our show before, so it's just really, really dope. So best of luck to Sneaky Fox FC. I don't know how you're gonna do against Summer of Soccer, but we're friendly until we get on the pitch.
That's right. We hope to see you in the finals, but in the meantime, we're going to the moon, baby. Come on, let's go. See
Jay
the Foxes.
It's Jay DeMerit. Let's go. We are now sitting with my teammate on Summer of Soccer, the first ever goal scorer in Summer of Soccer FC history, Jamie Watson. Jamie, what's up, brother?
What an intro. It's all downhill from here, brother. Oh,
no, man. Look, you did it at the professional level. You do it at the TST level. You do it in the booth and with your boots. I thought maybe that might sound cool, but
it worked. It worked. Hey, look. Having you around this week has been incredible. The team chemistry on day one before you got here, it was strong. But can I tell you, on day 2, when you got here, it was match day -1, Christian shows up, and the vibes in camp went through the roof. The belief, the laughter, the happiness was at an unobtainable level. I didn't think it was possible, but we got there once you got here.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, this is going to be I'm going to play what you just said on my tombstone. You know, have you heard of those things? People are now putting little tablets.
Scan it like the QR code.
QR code. Okay, and that's
I'm sorry if that's where it peaks and ends up on your tombstone.
That's the message people are going to hear. Jamie, look, we are recording this right not too long after our first match. We played against Manhattan Kickers, a team I'm very familiar with. We were up 1-0. We ended up tying the game 2-2. We ended up losing 5-2. But as far as that first experience, I'll give my thoughts. But what was how you scored the first goal? We got that big selfie, which we're playing right now, so you can see.
What a moment, huh? What a moment!
But what was your first thoughts of just team chemistry and everything with summer soccer?
The group that put this on, the big picture was let's make sure we get really good people.
Right.
And I think we checked that box Immensely. We absolutely nailed that. Just really high caliber, high quality people.
Mm-hmm.
And as we've gotten to know throughout the course of the last couple of days, you're hearing people's stories. It's been simply remarkable to get this collection of people, and I think this tournament is incredibly diverse.
Paul
welcoming.
Aguilar's on our team.
Yeah. Like just a couple World Cups, a devastating goal against the United States. I did tell him I hated him for a couple years in the Gold Cup final.
Right.
A banger. And then he scores this ridiculous side-flying volley.
Dude, I was just like, bro, he's pulling out all the tricks. He still got it.
He never lost it, did he?
He never lost it.
That class is permanent. But it's been a remarkable journey. And you mentioned the Manhattan Kickers, and one of the cool stories, I think, and I'll give you the quick Cliff Note version of it, I think it was really important. There was a moment in the game earlier where a guy takes a shot, and I was actually on the goal line.
Yeah, this is huge.
It sort of it hit my chest, but it was right next to, in my stomach, and it was right next to my arm. And from the angle that our referee had sort of towards midfield, he thought it was a handball and gave me a red card.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, look, I promise you it did not hit my arm. And he's like, well, that's what I saw. And the guy who took a shot, I want to say maybe in Samba, I think it was. He was number 8. He dreads. He was a really, really nice guy. He goes up to me and he was like, hey, the ball didn't hit your arm. I saw it.
Yeah.
And I go, do you want to tell the referee that? And he said, yeah, I'll go tell him.
Yeah.
And he walked over and told the referee, and because of that, they were able to talk. And I was like, look, by the way, ref, he has a million reasons to lie right now. And I was like, but he's doing the right thing, so let's not be oblivious to that. Let's just have some common sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And he did, and he overturned it.
And he overturned it, which was remarkable, which is something you don't ever really see at almost
No.
any level.
20 years in pro sports, Christian, I don't think I've ever seen something that nice because, again, there is a lot on the line.
Yeah.
But he told me, he's like, look, I've got kids. I'd want them to do the right thing in the moment. I was like, good for you in the heat of competition to do the right thing.
Right.
And then fair play to our teammate, Pat.
Yes.
In target score time, right, for those who don't know, you get to the end of the game. Their team was winning 4-2, so the target score is now one more than what the leading team has.
Uh-huh.
So that's 5. We were playing to 5, essentially. It was really close. It was really intense.
Yeah, yeah.
Shot looks like it goes over the line. Did you think it was over the line initially?
To be honest, I would have been shocked if it didn't go over the line. That's
Right.
not, to me, it was like it kind of looked like it did, but
We got everybody walking
Hey,
in. Michael
we
Lahoud,
got what's up, fam?
commentator,
Lo-
host extraordinaire, can do it
Lahoud
all.
will be here soon. He'll be here soon.
There we go.
We'll get him.
So we're pretty sure it goes in, but because it's at midfield, the referee doesn't call it.
yeah.
Actually, weirdly enough, ensuing sort of confusion, our guy turns, kicks it into an empty net. So we're at 4-3, and it was one of those moments where the goal was going to go in our favor, and the game could have been over. And then Patrick speaks up, one of the players on our team. He goes, you know what, guys? I got to be honest. The ball was definitely over the line.
Right.
They should have a goal, which meant the game was over. And our team unanimously was like, Patrick, that's the right thing to do, and we're really proud of you for doing it. So it was a beautiful moment and a beautiful game here at TST.
The sportsmanship and just the honesty it's something. Given that there's clearly $1 million on the line, everyone would have understood.
Yes.
If he was like, yeah, that definitely hit Jamie's arm. I saw him. He was fluttering his arms like crazy.
It's actually a remarkable save,
Ref,
right?
didn't you see it? What? You must be blind, right? Everyone would have 100% understood.
Yeah.
But no. So for it to. They have that moment of honesty, and we do as well, and that cost us the game, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's more.
But we kept our dignity, and I think the beautiful game won in that moment. I was really proud. We took a great group picture together.
Yeah.
Kenny Cooper gave some great words to both teams about, hey, this is what it's supposed to be like. This is what the game is. It's bigger.
100%. And you mentioned Kenny Cooper. Kenny Cooper has been another person who has been nothing but motivating, inspiring. Just
one of the nicest human beings alive.
Nicest human, but this is something I've you've interviewed a lot of footballers. You obviously played for years. Me being the comedian in this space, I'm thinking like, who's this fraud out here? They're gonna be like, why is this clown here? We don't need this. But
you've been in New York too long. You're like, no way anybody's this nice.
I gotta get to the middle of the country.
Yeah. That's some Dallas home cooking right there.
But nothing but Kenny has been seeing me on IG Live. You have as well, seeing all the
your
genuine
crossbar
effort.
challenges were amazing. And you know what? I think you earned all of your teammates' respect leading into the tournament because we saw the work that you were putting in. How do you think you grew as a soccer player from day one to match one where you were in? And follow-up question, why did you not attempt a bicycle kick when the ball's set invitingly? I'm just picturing it's on your screen right now in a freeze frame of You might be wondering how I got myself here, thinking
That's
from day one to
literally
now, I'm
what
about to bicycle kick.
100% what I was thinking, because that ball was in a position where I was like, there's no fucking way that this moment is even happening for me right now. I've played maybe 2.5, 3 minutes into this game, so it's almost impossible that this happened. But no, all I'll say is it legit crossed my mind.
Did it?
And not to say like, I mean, I was just watching my footage back, everybody, which is the game
How many
ended
times?
like
Give or take, plus or minus, over under 9.5 times.
I looked at the moment there, and the thing I was proud of myself of, where the keeper came to get the ball, it sort of like flicked up and deflected.
By the way, you didn't chicken out of that.
That's why, and that's my proudest moment right there. That I
You
was
stood
not
there.
I'm watching the footage back, and I'm like,
10 toes down.
my man,
Polanco.
standing on business. But I look at the footage back, and I'm like, wow, there's not even an ounce of nervousness in that moment. Where, or even as I stepped on the pitch, I'm like, I'm at a point in my life where I'm just like, bro, I'm supposed to be here.
You made it. Not only have you made it, you're here.
Okay, you put in the work, in your U8 academy team. But I was grinding
On IG.
On the open mics in New York City.
Yeah.
Okay, just as cutthroat.
That's where you cut your teeth right there. That's
Okay.
hey, if you can make it there
Right.
on a stage in New York,
I've been-
nothing's going to scare you.
We've all, had to battle out with the same dogs.
Yeah.
Okay? And no, man, it's just just stepping on the field with you guys. And just like you mentioning, like, that earn of trust, that's honestly the most important thing to me, because look, I'm not pretending to be a professional or anything, but I love the game. I've genuinely been training and practicing and really trying to get better. And even when we were warming up and Paul Aguilar is rocketing passes to me, I'm just like, okay, this is how professionals
the level.
pass to each other. And I'm like, the touches didn't go that far away for me.
No.
No.
Hey, by the way, you got some like sticky substance on there. We need to check performance enhancing glue on the shoe, because that thing, were those the Nike pillows that you put in there? Was that the Tempur-Pedic?
Because bro, I've been actually, I think that's the one thing a couple people like I trained with or play with, they're like,
Edson Buttle, MVP.
There's a little bit of like, you're not as bad as I thought you were going to be.
Isn't that the biggest compliment?
It's very much. So that is incredibly motivating. I'm excited about our next game. Is like in an hour. I'm not looking at a watch I don't have.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
Okay.
We're just superimposing like a really nice watch right there. Yeah.
This is the Apple iSkin. So we have a match in just a little bit, but I want to just mention, obviously, Summer of Soccer and all the matches that are happening. You're working and doing commentary on these games, and even just hearing, this is also sadly, unfortunately, the first time you've been on our program. We were trying to do something together, I think, when in Nashville.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
Where you were it was like a whole confusing thing, but we made the offer. We did reach out.
You know I'm a big fan of the show. I love
it
you,
just didn't work
love
out.
Alexis, love all the guests you have. It's appointment watching for me.
But hearing your voice on this program there's something very comforting, because there's obviously you have you a great player and a Minnesota legend.
Thank you.
But your voice is also very iconic and very
thank you.
Warm. People it feels like home, especially in Minnesota.
Well, I tell you, for what I was not physically gifted with athletically, you can't pick your size, right? I wouldn't have chosen to be 5'8.5", which rounds up to 5'9". But yeah, I don't know. People are like, "Oh, you got a great voice." I'm like, I have no fault in that. No,
right.
I have no say so in that. So I think the big man upstairs was like, "Hey, I'm not going to hook you up with the height thing, but I'll give you a voice that isn't too irritating to listen to." No, you mentioned the summer soccer thing, and it's really cool. We're trying to figure out like how everybody got put together, and there's a few tie-ins. And having gone to school at North Carolina before the professional career and everything, so I went to Chapel Hill, and so my story really started at a high level here. And so it's good to be back home. I was playing ACC tournament championships here at Wake Med and stuff like that. So it's really full circle. But it all sort of ties back into these several matches that we have coming up with FC Series across the summer. And we're not just talking, like, let's just throw some rinky-dink teams together. I'm talking on July 23rd, Manchester City, 4-time Premier League champion. Ever heard of them?
Yeah.
They're pretty good at soccer.
We took photos with the trophy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
They're going to be here. They're going to play against Celtic. They've just won the double. That's 7:23 at Kenan Stadium. Celtic and Man City FCseries.com if you're going to be in town. If you want to fly in, look, you don't have to fly to Manchester or to Glasgow to go watch these two teams play. Just come down here and see this world-class facility, see one of the most beautiful campuses, Chapel Hill.
Awesome.
That's really cool. And then again, there's 3 more after that. There's the 27th of July. That's going to be at Notre Dame. That's going to be Celtic versus Chelsea. Then at 7:31, Mercedes-Benz, there's going to be Club America versus Chelsea, which is really cool. Paul Aguilar was so excited about that. Club America legend. And the last one, I can't wrap my head around this, how I'm going to be able to be there for this. Chelsea versus Man City on August 3rd at Ohio State in a 100,000-seat stadium. It's incredible. So that group is so gracious to put that on. They'll have me around for that too, and they're the ones that have put on this tournament. So without their support, none of us would be here. So it's been incredible. The summerofsoccer.com is a great touch point for all of the friendlies that are going around. So that group has been incredibly gracious. They put us up, accommodations, everything.
It's literally like, okay, this is too nice.
What are we doing here, right?
We don't belong
we
here.
are officially peaking right now. I want to ask you, though, the thing that you didn't expect from this process, whether it's camaraderie off the field, the level of play, how great everything is run at the TST, what's maybe the biggest surprise that you've experienced in the several days that you've been here, taking in and experiencing the TST?
It's tough to pick one. The main thing that feels transformative for me is, look, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn especially, not a lot of like team sports kind of a thing. Like it's like street basketball. I grew up playing handball. That was like my main focus. Yeah, you know, like
if they go TST handball, you're the first guy, right?
my brother is a professional handball player. So
no way,
like
that's sick.
but not Olympic handball.
Yeah.
The like squash, but with your hands, like playing on a wall. So that's handball. That's New York handball. So you grow up focusing on hot like.
Some of our teammates coming in now too.
Hey, let's go.
David, my career team showing up here.
You grow up sort of focusing on like, I want to be a better athlete as an individual. I don't really have teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the thing, the camaraderie of just being in that locker room, hearing the coach speak, giving just advice, tactics,
everything.
And I'm just like, yeah, man, I'm here, bro. I'm here to do this. And that camaraderie and also, just like you mentioned, like the rest of the team just welcoming me, not treating me like differently than anyone else, you know, and just, again, earning that trust. That is the part where I'm like, man, I should have went to that U8 academy and played.
We'll put it this way. If that ball hangs up like that and the goalkeeper is coming up, does Alexis stand on business? Does he go 10 toes down, or does he maybe go 5 and kind of like raise the other one up? And it's like,
he is getting an injury looking at the ball in the air. He's like, oh my God.
I love that guy. I love that guy so much, man.
No, this has been just a dream. This is so cool. I can't. We're in the middle of it too, and even before the first game, I would have said this exact same thing. This is just so dope, and again, I just want to keep contributing, connect a couple passes with you guys, and it. You know what? Even in that moment where Pacheco was on, he was out wide.
Yes.
There was a moment where I saw him dribbling the ball where he took like one extra touch, and I'm like, you should have passed it to me, bro. I would have headed the ball
You're
right
ready
in.
now. You're an official teammate to yell at your teammates. What were you thinking? You should have played me the ball. That's when you're officially
Pacheco
official.
knows better. He knows better.
Hey, what are you gonna do when you score? Not if. When you have to have a celebration, because you get this moment, you can't screw it up.
Right,
what are you
right.
doing?
I mean, look, there's something that wants me to go full ego. Eric Cantona, just like, yeah, no, I'm not surprised. Why are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Celebrate. We're not celebrating. We do this all the time on
Okay.
IG Live.
Act like you've been here before. No, man. So, look, we got 2 more matches. One tonight, one tomorrow. This has been incredible. Jamie Watson. Let's win $1 million, bro.
Hey, I don't know what's better, winning $1 million, being on the Cooligans with you, or having you as my teammate. It's been incredible, and it's been a hell of a run. I'll never forget these memories being made with this group and with you this week. It's been incredible.
We got a lot more to make. All right, let's keep it going. All right, now we are here with an NWSL champion, a World Cup champion, someone I absolutely respect. I'm pretty sure I was on the field when the Courage won. in what year was that? The last time they won?
2019.
2019. Yes,
Yeah.
I was here on the field, so I saw you guys celebrating
Oh, nice.
and everything, and it
Yeah.
was my first NWSL championship. So to be here again and to be talking with you, a Courage legend. I'm truly excited. So thank you so much for doing this. So I was telling you right before we got on air that I'm a stand-up comic, and I joke. I mean, the show is very silly, but we have a huge respect for the game. So I want to just talk about the fact that being at TST, I'm doing interviews and stuff, but I'm also playing for Summer of Soccer here, and it's been an incredible experience. But now, essentially, for you to be here and be playing for $1 million, the stakes are incredibly high. What's this experience been like for you so far?
So far, it's been a lot of work. So I actually was looking forward to this tournament being over, to be honest. But honestly, something I was looking forward to just because, I'm coming off of postpartum, and just dabbling back into football again was huge for me.
Sure.
And then to top it off, being able to represent the North Carolina Courage, it was honestly a no-brainer when they asked me to be captain of the team and getting a team together. So I think we put in a lot of work getting this team together and making sure everything kind of goes pretty smoothly for everybody. But that was mostly what I was just looking forward to, just playing again, really, but playing for fun. Honestly.
Yeah.
No pressure.
I had my first child just a year ago. So
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's wild.
And it is an incredible experience.
Yeah.
And but seeing my wife recover and just be herself again.
Yeah.
I saw firsthand like the challenges that come with that. There was an interesting Alex Morgan just recently in the first game against South Korea. She didn't play because Emma Hayes had mentioned in a press conference that she was feeling discomfort in her pelvic area, and there was something interesting about the fact that just players postpartum deal with things that other players just may not. And there was something I appreciated about the transparency with that. That was like, okay, we were talking about it on the show recently. Like, it shed light on the fact that maybe these things should be more talked about. So it normalizes what players who have children, what they go through. What did you think? I don't know if you saw that quote, but what did you think about just the fact that that's even being talked about?
Yeah, I think when it comes to postpartum, whether if you're a professional athlete or not, I feel like it should be talked about much more.
Yeah.
Just because the majority of women who have had children don't know what to expect when it comes to recovery. And obviously everyone's stories are different, so I'm happy there was light shed on that particular subject. So I think it's just something that should be talked about more because it is a lot for us. It's a lot on our bodies, feeling overstimulated, overwhelmed. I mean, you name it, it's a lot of things. And not feeling like yourself for a while, it's frustrating. And so in taking care of a whole human being to top it off, and so we put our bodies through a lot. And so I think that it should just be a topic that should be spoken about much more and something that should be studied a lot more also in order to help women recover from it.
Okay, I agree. I mean, I think there's something to just, maybe being like a absent-minded dude that doesn't know exactly all those like specifics, that I'm like, all right, this is like, I have an incredible amount of empathy already, but then this is like an important aspect of like, I think people can just look to female athletes as athletes, and it's like, oh, they should be able to deal with the same criticism the way I criticize male footballers. And there's a level of empathy that I think that shed light on that I really like appreciated. When I've been playing in this tournament as well, and I'm a stand-up comic on the pitch. I've played. I've trained a lot. I've been training with Edson Buttle, who played on the national team, which is already a surreal thing to be able to say. But there's something to like having that like trust in your teammates and having trust in yourself. How do you feel about just coming back and being on the pitch and being in front of these crowds? As far as like where your game is right now, how do you feel?
Where my game is right now?
Yeah.
I would say it's at a pretty decently high level.
Okay.
I feel
Mine is not, by the way.
I feel pretty confident. I think my preparation was very good. I was training at Next Level Training out in Michigan with Aaron Bird, and you'll hear a lot of women and men also who have played professionally in college who go and train with him. So he has this professional environment basically, and it whips you into shape so quickly. He keeps you on your toes. I mean, you're thinking a lot with the passing patterns, and that's exactly what I needed in order to prepare for TST, because it's small fields. You have to think fast because, you're in tighter spaces. And so I think I can confidently say that I am pretty prepared for this tournament, being where I'm at postpartum, and I'm 36 years old, and so I did prepare the best that I could.
All right, I don't doubt it. The last question I have, this is the 25th, we're about to hit the 25th anniversary of the 99ers. Just even, like, we're at a tournament like this, and we have a women's division and $1 million on the line. From the 99ers to have that incredible moment from the World Cup, and then just to be able to do things like this in this country, what can you give your assessment of, like, from 99 to now, of like where American soccer is and for women in particular?
Yeah, I think that with the 99ers, they put in more work than any of us can even fathom. They helped pave the way for opportunities like this for $1 million prize. And then you look at the NWSL, look at all of the support that we have now in the league, from ownerships to increased pay, things like that. So to be honest, from 99 to now, it's like night and day, honestly.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine half the things that those women went through, and I went through a lawsuit against U.S. soccer, and so that in itself was enough work, for me mentally. So with that being said, I mean, they're the true stars of women's soccer to start things off here in the U.S., because we wouldn't be able to have these type of opportunities like TST if it really wasn't for the 99ers and Title IX,
right?
Things like that, and the things that they went through. So, I mean, I heard stories at one point, a lot of these players were sewing their own numbers on their jerseys,
We saw Michelle Akers walking by, and she's one of the people who have done that.
Yeah, and, they're selling their own tickets out in parking lots and giving tickets away just to come to their games. And so I'm like, I never had to do that. I couldn't imagine. So they put in, the hard work in order for things to be easier for us. And obviously there's still work to be done, but I mean, they started it off.
Yeah.
So to be able to create opportunities
the
for
campaign
us.
of no more side hustles, they had like 6 or 7.
Yeah, solid. Yeah.
Last question. What are you going to do with the money when you with the $1 million when you win it?
Oh, my fiance and I, we are house hunting, so down payment. It ain't going to nothing else. So I can't even treat myself. It's just going to be a home for me and my family.
All
so
right. Jessica McDonald, best of luck. Thank you so much for joining me.
Appreciate
Cheers.
it.
And now we are here with a person that I can finally talk to about what it's like to work with Alexis Guerreros, because I know we both have to share the same war stories.
That we do.
But I'm joined, but just literally one of my favorite people, especially to watch. There's something about authority coming on to a broadcast. There's some to let everybody know, to let the Thierry Henrys of the world know, like, no. This is why the referee called this, or this is what I would have done. Give real insight from a referee perspective. Legendary referee in football. Christina Unkel, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Last time we were together, we were at the NWSL final and we were dancing.
That's right.
So maybe you'll get a little bit of that later.
Exactly. So, Christina Unkel, you are obviously a well-renowned referee. You are also an analyst of the game, but now you're also an owner of a team. You are the Tampa Bay Sun. We're here at
Let's go!
TST. Your logo is up there, not far from my team's logo as well.
Which, by the way, does have a son in it. So
That's
I
right.
like
That's
to
right.
say. I like to
Okay,
say.
we got it from you. We stole it from you. No, this is a really cool thing. I mean, we don't have too much time to talk about all of it, but the
Yeah.
fact that Tampa Bay Sun is now participating in TST in the women's division, that where there's also $1 million on the line. When you saw that the women's bracket was opening up, how quickly were you like, we have to be a part of this?
Immediately. So I saw TST last year, ironically, from the eyes of the referees.
Oh, yeah.
But from a football lover, especially of the small-sided game, the beautiful game, the technical side of it, right? Like Jogo Bonito, as we say in Brazil, which you'll see a thread of that in our players that we brought into this tournament.
All right, the Brazilian national team.
The Brazilian national team's here with Tampa Bay Sun. Why? Because they love sun. So that line's going to be real strong. I can tell you that in our team in the bigger scheme. But that being said, it's just, for me, it was a bit of a no-brainer. Down in Miami, we have these types of tournaments that happen all of the time. Not necessarily in this kind of capacity.
Right.
But this type of a game, for them to open it up for having a women's division, this is a no-brainer. We need to step in to these types of opportunities so that we can show the world. We've told the world. Now we get to show the world that these women professional footballers have that game, have that technical, have that finesse, and can really score some exciting games.
That's right. I mean, and the Tampa Bay Sun will be taking the field for the USL Super League as well. How excited are you about that experience? What's it sort of been like? Do you have a newfound appreciation for staffs and ownership and things like that from a referee's perspective?
It's I was talking to some refs recently, and I said, our ref world, our community is small, it's intimate. We at the highest levels, the nuances, but it's just a small piece of the picture and the big thing. And we need all pieces of the puzzle. But when you go into like the presidency role and you're delivering and creating everything from scratch, meaning from being employee number 1 to scaling to 18 full-time staff to delivering and finishing capital campaigns for a temporary stadium and our temporary training facility and 23 pure free agencies and negotiations with agents on top of figuring out your music licensing rights and your vendors and where the porta potties are going to go.
Yeah.
Like, those are things that I definitely didn't think I was going to be doing or really fully appreciate. But in the grand scheme of it, to be able to deliver a product that is fan-centric and player-centric is really where our core competencies are.
Amazing. Yeah, I think if you had Alexis helping you out, he would be like, put the porta potties center pitch. We need quick access. I need to get there immediately.
Although I hope to see you guys there because one of our owners is from Burns Steakhouse, the renowned steak place, and they are doing a specialty steak sandwich and macadamia nut ice cream. So we're kind of having a little bit of fine dining at our stadium.
Look, I love it. You're involved in every aspect. Are you putting the pecans on the on the desserts?
I'm hiring the person who's putting the pecans on the desserts.
Christina Unkel does it all. I want to talk about. So I've obviously been playing. I played 2 matches already at TST, and in the first game, I just saw the referee who reffed our first game against Manhattan Kickers. There was a controversial play. There were 2 actually, and I want to get your thoughts when speaking from a referee's perspective. So there was a, Jamie Watson.
Yep. Jamie. He's very vocal on Twitter about referees.
Yes, Jamie Watson. He was vocal to this referee as well. But the referee Joe, shout out to Joe. He called a red. There was a goal line clearance. It was a shot. So Jamie Watson miraculously got to the line and got in front of the ball, arms down. But from the referee's perspective, he saw a handball.
Yep.
Pulled out the red card for dog show, and the player who took the shot went up to the ref and said, "Hey ref, he didn't use his hand," and he overturned the red card, and it was a sign of or just a moment of unbelievable sportsmanship. And when there's $1 million on the line, and no one would have been upset at this guy if he said like, yeah, it's a red, you're out of the game. But the ref overturned it, and so I complimented him for that. But then at the end of the game, in the target score time, they took a shot and the another goal line clearance, but it looked like it might have gone over the line. We get the ball back, and they have their keeper out, because there are only about 4 players on each side, and kick the ball 40 yards for a goal, and now we're 1 goal closer. But our team said, hey, the ball did go over the line, and the game ended right there. And even though the ref didn't call a goal, and he overturned that decision. So there was sportsmanship on both sides. Have you ever seen anything like that in a match?
Twice in one game, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I have seen it where somebody has said, for example, penalty called, but yet they tripped over their own foot and they say, my culpa, whatever. This is it. Like, that is like the ultimate of ultimate sportsmanship. Like, to your point, like, will anyone complain or say anything if the answer is no? Those are rarities in and of themselves. So you guys need to play the lottery or something, because like that doesn't happen very often. But it's something that's appreciative, especially from the officiating standpoint. Like, contrary to popular belief, refs don't go out there to make bad calls. They literally, that's the last thing we want to do. So when you do have the team that it's getting punished against and they're coming up and telling you like, hey, love you to pieces, but this one's wrong, like, you listen and you lean into that.
Yeah, there's something to a referee changing their decision without VAR, or he was just like, okay.
Oh yeah, news alert, there's no VAR or goal line technology or semi-automated offside technology at TST, just in case someone had a question.
The VAR is just our bench being like, no, that's the wrong call, ref. Make the right call. No, but I think that it's a story. The fact that it happened 2 times in one game and that we were able to return the sportsmanship, I thought was like, you talk about playing the lottery. It's like the kindness lottery. There's not that much kindness to go around.
No, but I think that gives that credit of what kind of this environment brings here at TST is just right. You got people who coming to play and love the game. Is there $1 million on the line? Yes. Is that a cherry on top? Yes. But it's like everyone just wants to get together, play good football, and have the best team win.
Amazing. So go everyone. If you're in the Tampa Bay area or not, go check out the Tampa Bay Sun. I'm excited about not only the entire project. It looks awesome, but the fact that Christina Unkel is involved. There's a good person at the top of that pyramid. So best of luck.
Thank you. I can't wait to see you play your next game.
Still here at TST. All right, we've been talking to players. We've been talking to managers. We've been talking to owners. Now we can talk to people who capture it all, who capture the experience, the storytellers. Okay, the winfluencers, as I like to call them.
Okay, I'll take it. Anything with a W, I'll take it.
Or the shinfluencers.
This is why he gets paid for
this. Is you know what?
books.
Apologies for not getting it right the first time. To be honest,
You had it. Sorry.
But we are joined by John Shin, a.k.a. Good Vibes John. John, you are here with Saturday's Football. Obviously, one of the dopest clothing stores when it comes to footy fashion.
Absolutely.
And they have a team also. I think they're playing. Do they have another game today or tomorrow?
Yes, sir, today.
Today. And I know they're 1-1. Right. So the next game is important. They're at the top of the group at the moment. But capturing the content and getting to see like the stuff behind the scenes. I've seen it with my team, but with the almost on the field, it can be overwhelming. But capturing that experience from your behind your lens, what's it been like for you?
Honestly, this was my first time actually following a football team in terms of content side of things. It was overwhelming at first because I've never experienced this level of sort of on-the-go type of thing. So when I'm shooting, I don't know, between, let's say, for example, yourself and myself, 2-3 people, it's kind of eeasy to plan and settle.
Fabio
and, you know what I'm saying?
Hey. There it is, okay? Well, you can't be at TST without a loud Brazilian. All right? They're everywhere.
Yeah, but in terms of, like, content, at first I was kind of shocked at the sort of the gravitas of all of it. But then as soon as I got into the rhythm, I realized that there's just so much you can capture. It's all about how to kind of pick and choose where you're getting it. And for me, at first I thought it was going to be sort of like a fun, just kind of vibing with the team and whatnot, which it still was. But I ended up kind of trying to get a little more intimate. I was actually instead of doing videos, I've been kind of capturing a little bit more of the still shots, photography, getting a little bit more deeper into it. It was an incredible experience so far.
It's beautiful. Yeah, there's and you can see the intensity of, there's $1 million on the line. We're at TST. There's a, even I see it within my team. There are people that are like, okay, no, this is a proper tournament. This is a real opportunity. There's something at stake.
Absolutely.
And so how from the sense of like intensity, how's it felt in the locker room with coaches, in their speeches? What's it like getting to see that?
I've been part of sort of locker rooms just kind of as guests. This time around, 100% agreed. There is that level of intensity. And these people are not here to just have fun like sort of myself.
Yeah.
They're out here to win. And that intensity was eye-opening. You see that on the pitch, the fierce battles. I keep using the word intensity, but that literally is the best way to describe it. From the players to the coaching staff, every element of this tournament is serious business.
Okay, yeah. Even when I'm on the field, everybody's like, yo, Christian, you look different. Why are you so serious all of a sudden? I'm like, I got to shut off the comedy brain.
When I first spoke to you, normally you're like, hey, what's up? And today you're like, hello? Yeah.
Hey, what's good? I can't talk too long. I'm a professional athlete, John.
I'm locked in right now. I'm locked in.
I'm like, I called you, and I'm like, John, why'd you get my number? why are you bothering me? I'm like, yo, you call me, dog. No, man, but this is dope. We can't end any conversation without talking about Manchester United. Obviously, this is your club. I saw you got some joy this season, right?
Absolutely.
Because Manchester United did lift the FA Cup in a win against Manchester City. You were there at Wembley. I was so there was something to, I'm not a Manchester United fan, but I'm a John Shin fan. I'm a Good Vibes John fan. So there was like as soon as the final whistle blew, I'm like, bro, how happy is John right now? And then you posted the clip. Your voice was gone. I'm glad it's back. But, man, just real quick, that experience of the roller coaster of a season, but to end it with that trophy.
Look, I was promised before we hit the record button that we weren't going to talk about Manchester United.
That's right.
I was told we were going to talk about our shared love of antiquing. I thought we were going to talk about things like that. No, jokes aside. That experience was life-changing, unforgettable. To witness my team play in an FA Cup final at Wembley, the historic moment of it all, added to the pressure of the fact that Manchester United have endured one of the worst seasons in a long time, coupled with the fact that we were going against Manchester City, who had just completed their four-peat. It was honestly us against the world kind of energy. And so many people were like, John, why on God's green earth are you flying out there, spending your money, watching Man United? But I had a vibe. I don't know. It's just I always go with the vibe and the instinct. And someone told me I got to go out there and just show love and support. I didn't even have a ticket when I first bought the plane. I didn't have a ticket to go.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to be there. Something felt right. And
So when people know that Good Vibes John is in town, they're like, yo, we'll find a ticket. We're going to kick somebody out of the stadium to make sure that you're in here. I'm happy for you. Congrats on that. And it's dope to be here at TST with, not only like fellow content creators, but people I like. This is a good dude. That's why the good is in his whole brand. All right? So Good Vibe. Go follow Good Vibes John if you don't, and follow Saturdays Football. They got great gear. They have stores all over the country. But man, great to chat with you, man. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
All right, cheers, brother. Okay, this show has been absolutely bonkers. We've had some incredible guests. We've had friends, teammates, club owners, and now the players that I get to fight alongside with, and it's been quite the honor so far. And let me just go down the line. First off, FC Dallas legend Kenny Cooper. Next up,
future pro wrestler, by the way. Yeah, we've been training all morning.
Aspirations.
just all units sitting at these rocking chairs. Next up, we have the AEW professional wrestler Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio, I just want to, am I saying your name correctly? And
Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
I feel good about
However
that.
you say it, it's perfect.
Okay, so yeah, there's definitely one person here that's way more popular than any of us, and it might be the pro wrestler. And then next up, my other teammate, LA Galaxy legend, the very own, one of the most handsome men on Instagram. Give it up for Bryan Jordan, everybody. Okay.
That's a great tag.
All right.
I'll take
That should be your hashtag from now on. The most handsome man
It's
on
getting
Instagram.
changed right now.
Okay, change that bio right now. No, guys, let's get started real quick. All right. Everybody's been asking. I'm a stand-up comedian and playing alongside you guys. What's been the first impression of Christian Polanco right on the pitch? Please be honest. Go for it. Anybody, whoever wants to go
first.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I've been tuned into your training sessions
Yes.
well before this tournament. I've seen your dedication. It's been remarkable. We got to do a virtual training session together. I know you've been working with Edson Buttle.
Yep.
And I'm just going to say it shows. It shows out here. You've done tremendous. We're leaning in on you. You almost scored the other day.
Right. I could have. Everybody. I was watching the footage back, and Jamie Watson is in the background yelling, "Bike!
Yeah.
Bike! It should have been, bro. Imagine that.
You got to trust your
Imagine
instincts.
That would have been incredible.
So it is surreal, and again, I am honored, and I'll get to you, Claudio, but Bryan, your thoughts as well, as far as just seeing me out there.
Sure. So my take would have been, I did notice the work you put in training-wise, but since that's got touched on, I would say very high level of banter at the first training, and I noticed. So
okay.
that's what I would say.
See, so look, we all know what my strengths are, and they're very, very clear as soon as I, get on the training ground. Claudio, you and I are probably in a place where, when they invited, when they were deciding what players to bring, they said, you know what, we need a couple players with a few more Instagram followers. Okay, they were like, hey, we know about your footballing ability, right? They said the same thing to me. They're like, look, we know you were this close to making it pro, but you ended up going the comedy route. You ended up going the professional wrestling route.
Yeah, because I wasn't even close. Because, I abandoned that long ago. When I got the call, I was like, you guys know I'm. Can we swear on this? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. You know where I'm at. I'm like, I'll go for fun, but yes, 100%.
Okay, so when it comes to that, what is your footballing background and history? Where are you from? Let us know how you got involved.
I mean, I'm from Switzerland, so if you grew up in Switzerland, you just play football. Just from an early age, you just started playing before school. You go to school early to play, just on the field before school, for half an hour, and then play till I was 16. That's when I realized you're not good at this, so I'll pursue other things.
right. You were like, you know what feels better? Hitting somebody over the head with a chair.
You're like, no, well, so to you and then these guys, we all practice guys. I think what we all have in common is we're very competitive, right?
Yeah.
So when you're young and you keep losing and you're not that good, you're like, okay, I'll find something where I can be good.
Right,
you know what I mean? So I feel like that's the fun about this team. We're all having fun. But we're also very competitive, including
Sure.
yourself,
I mean, it's the comedy world can be competitive as well. Obviously, the wrestling world is incredibly competitive. It's actually interesting because you had to miss the first 2 matches.
Yeah.
Because you went to training, and then you got called into a match.
I got a call into a match.
You're a volunteer firefighter and just had to go.
You know what? I'm gonna keep that, and I'm just gonna call myself a volunteer firefighter / professional wrestler from now on because you're on call. So that's what I do.
So what happened? You were at the training. You got a call. You're like, oh, we have a.
Well, I got a missed call because training is more important.
Right.
So afterwards it was oh, why do I have a bunch of missed calls and 15 text messages? I was like, yeah, okay.
And where'd you have to fly to?
So I flew from here's in Raleigh, right? Then I flew to Florida, picked up my stuff, flew to Denver, took a red eye from Denver here, slept a little bit, and now I'm here.
This is the applause to you, man. The dedication.
We begged him to come back. After our 2 losses, we begged him.
Yeah.
But you guys all know it's if you have to make something happen, you make it happen. Right?
Yeah. No, but it just shows the dedication to the game. But being here at TST, is this all? It's my first time. You have been. Were you here last year?
I was. Yeah.
Second. Okay. So any changes? Anything you noticed that from last year to this year that you appreciate?
Well, I was blown away last year. I mean, the production of it all, everything from the quality of the pitches to the talent level, it's all so impressive. Obviously, this year there's a women's division, which is so exciting. I can't wait to catch those games as well. I was just inside. I saw 2 players who were teammates of mine 20 years ago. And the opportunity to reconnect with them has just been such a beautiful thing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's been a fun part of it. I was saying it's sort of like, feels like a high school reunion of a high school I never went to, right?
The outsider of the reunion.
Everyone's like, okay, yeah, everybody's really happy to see each other but me, right? But no, given, I've been, covering this game and meeting a lot of players, interviewed a lot of players, and so there's a little bit of that, people are excited to see me, I'm happy to see them, but for you guys, getting, there's a rare opportunity to just see the guys that you played against, played with. What's it been like for you? Have you bumped into anybody you're like,
yes.
I haven't seen you in forever?
Absolutely. And like Kenny touched on, I mean, the funny thing is, back in the days when you're playing with some people too, depending on your competition with that person, sometimes you're not able to communicate certain things. So after the years go by, maybe there's a story they're more loose about now. You learn something you never knew.
Some asshole GM.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There's always an asshole GM that you got to talk about.
Yeah. So I ran into Mike McGee, Kyle Martino, these guys last night.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sean Franklin, AJ De La Garza are here, and it's just happy to see all these guys.
Nah, man, it's great seeing you guys reconnect as well. I mean, it's also interesting playing in these games and being on that first goal, when Jamie Watson scored that first goal and getting to celebrate with you all was like this. I can't believe my life is at this moment right now. That felt the bond, the unity that I'm sure you guys miss from playing, obviously playing regularly. But when it comes to just the camaraderie. And getting to do that again, what's it like for you guys to get to experience that again?
I can't tell you how many times I've had chills just having conversations with people. Jamie's goal, Jamie's red card, the red card getting taken away, an opponent on their team telling the truth so that the red card is taken away. One of our players, calling their goal at the end of the match. I mean, just the sportsmanship, the respect, the community, it's amazing. This is what this game is all about. It was all on display in our first game. I have to say, I don't think there's a better way to lose than the way that we did.
I agree. Yeah, I spoke to Christina Unkel, who was a ref in the game. She's also Ted Unkel's wife. I don't know if you ever had a Ted ref one of your matches, but I told her this exact story and about that first game, and she was like, I've never heard of that happening twice in one game where people were just being that honest.
It's got to be the TST Fair Play Award entry. Like, if there's anybody TST that needs to get there,
that's right. I think that qualifies for an automatic third place. We get into
absolutely.
for just being good.
Idea there.
Claudio, this is going to be your first game. We're playing in just a couple hours against #United.
Yeah.
What are you excited about? How are you feeling about where your game is, your preparation? Because I'm excited to see you out there, mainly to intimidate the opposing team.
You need my boots, by the way.
Oh yeah, I may do.
You can be crazy fast, bro.
Yeah.
They're a little tight anyway.
If they do what they say, I'll definitely need it.
That's all it takes to beat Kenny Cooper. Those boots.
I'm super excited. I mean, my preparation is probably close to non-existent because I wouldn't count one practice as a preparation, but it was so much fun.
I would.
Well, it was a lot of fun because I didn't really do anything different because I didn't want to pretend that I don't know, 2 weeks of training would make up for a lifetime of not.
Gotcha.
But I just wanted to go out there and have fun and just being just what you said, being at practice, being on the same pitch as those guys, and just kind of doing your best. It's just that camaraderie and that team spirit is amazing. You can't really put it in words, and I'm just looking forward to that. I was like I need to play at least one game, I'm super pumped, and it's one of those opportunities that, same as you, is I was kind of scared of it, because it's something out of your comfort zone, or at least out of my comfort zone. Sure. But I was like, screw it. I would be so mad at myself if I would miss this, you know what I mean, and not do it. Yeah. And now I'm like, hey, so next year, are we doing this again?
Right. It's just so wild thinking of you being afraid of anything. You fell through tables on ladders and jumped off of the steel cages.
Yeah, but you're going out there on a field with, 13 professionals. and you were just like, all right, what am I doing here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I literally, their shoes I bought them, they're brand new. They're worn once. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those, like, okay.
We've
so
been trying to convince him to wear his wrestling shoes.
That's
in the
right.
match.
I was just like,
Lace them up.
it probably looked good. I'll just slide all over the pitch. You know?
That would be so badass. Just your goal celebration is a leg drop on somebody. This has been an honor. I'm excited about this next game. You know, we're not statistically out of it when it comes to getting into the knockout round. So I'm
Kenny pointed that out to me this morning, first thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So that's the fighting spirit.
I'm
Right?
excited for all of us to play, to contribute, and hopefully just get a good result. Guys, this has been an absolute dream, and maybe we'll maybe everybody watching and listening will hear from how it is. We'll recap how it all went and as far as getting the results. But this, regardless of the result, this has been a dream come true. That's why I know Claudio came and flew right back, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to get to do stuff like this. We're absolutely honored. So shout out to Summer of Soccer. Thank you so much for the invitation, and thank you guys for joining me on the Cooligans.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
Cheers, guys.